Season 4 of Fox's smash hit reality show is once again giving us life, and back with an all-new lineup of 16 mystery celebrities wearing elaborate costumes. Last night, we were introduced to Group A: Snow Owls, The Sun, Giraffe, Popcorn, and Dragon, all taking the stage in front of a virtual audience, along with the host, Nick Cannon. For more on this, we turn now to our biggest Masked Singer fan here at Fox 5, producer Chris, and our panel of Angie, Wisdom, and Kevin. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. We can't do it alone. So things kicked off with a bang last night. Obviously, Busta Rhymes, we're going to hear from him in just a minute. You mentioned this is filmed during a pandemic, so there were some changes. We had our regular panelist, we had our regular host, no audience. There was a virtual audience, like you mentioned. But let's get right into the performances, and we're going to start things off with The Sun. We got to hear a little bit of it. She performed "'Cause I Love You" by Lizzo. Some of her clues: she's a Gold member, maybe an Austin Powers reference. She also mentioned Extreme Seasons. We saw a little Disney reference. We heard about things like Frozen. The internet, the obvious answer at this point is Demi Lovato. What do you guys think?
I think Demi Lovato is probably the best one, in my opinion.
Angie, you thought otherwise, though.
Yeah,
you said it was too on the nose.
That's just too obvious. I mean, and then the Jaguar, the Cheetah, and Cheetah Girls. So I'm going to say Christina Aguilera.
Christina Aguilera also has Disney links, so that is definitely a possibility.
But wasn't one of the clues for The Sun was that in the clues they talked about having depression?
They did, yeah.
And then the voice, how strong the voice was. That's why I immediately thought Demi Lovato.
Miley Cyrus.
The internet's leading that way as well.
That was a strong performance, by the way. That was the opening of the show. I did my homework. I took a bunch of notes on it, and that was the one that I thought it was a strong opener.
Are you going to go ahead and say they might be able to go all the way, Kevin?
I don't know. It might be a bright future, Chris.
We do have one other thing I want to mention really quick, guys, that there's not just the golden mask anymore this year. There's also the golden ear. The judge who gets the most guesses also gets a prize. So we got to maybe come up with a version of that ourselves.
Okay.
So let's talk
I'm
about
going
the giraffe.
with Zendaya as my pick.
Zendaya. Okay, another good one. Let's talk about the giraffe, guys. We got to go on to the giraffe. So the tallest costume we've seen so far. Giraffe sang "Let's Get It Started" by the Black Eyed Peas, said music is in his blood, but when he stuck his neck out and took a risk, he became butt of everyone's jokes. There was definitely like a look to this costume, and on the internet, he's going towards maybe something Hamilton related, maybe like Lin-Manuel Miranda.
No, I know who it is.
Oh, you do? Who do you think it is?
Kevin Hart.
Wait.
Kevin Hart?
Really?
It's Kevin Hart.
That would be huge.
I think you can dance better than that.
In the thing, he says that finally I like being this giraffe because of anonymity. Kevin Hart always makes jokes about his height in everything he does. So it's like this takes it to the other extreme. There was in the clue package, there was something about like how he crashed and burned. We all know he was in this accident. Remember that accident that he recovered from? And then he stuck his neck out, and then he was the butt of all jokes. We all know how he was canceled for a while.
Yeah.
Remember?
Okay.
And so
Angie, I think
look at the calves. You know, he works out
we're
on
like
Instagram.
detectives. It's so fun, guys. I love it.
Angie, you're convincing me that it might be Kevin Hart. By the way, do you guys also notice that there's footage of audience without their masks on? And you know why that is, Chris? It's because they actually used apparently past audience visuals in order to make it look and feel like the show. Those audience members that we're seeing in those shots without their masks are not happening at the same time as the show that we're watching.
All right, guys, we got to get through some more. So let's go to the popcorn next. She sang "What About Us" by Pink. You hear that voice. Some of the clues included an image of snacks in the city. Kind of looks like Sex in the City. Thick New York accent. Built her career around love, but she's not that soft. The judge's guest, Tina Turner. What do you guys think of that?
I thought the voice. I heard the New York accent, Chris, in the clues. The one that really threw me was Ken Jeong said he thought this was Carol Baskin. I don't understand why he thinks that's Carol Baskin.
There's a tiger in the clue package. That's why.
All right, let's go on. We got to go on. The
Mary J.
Snow Owls
Blige is
next.
another
This
one.
is the first duet in Masked Singer history.
Okay.
They performed. They were the last to perform, actually. They sang "Say Something" by Great Big World. As for the clues, they jam a lot. They have not been seen together in a while. Also, possibly a brother-sister duo. Some of the guesses were Donnie and Marie, but Donnie was actually already on the show. So what do you guys have? Any guesses for this one?
I like the Donnie and Marie one, but I also think that I can't remember who suggested this, but it was Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara. I kind of thought that was a cool one as well.
They're riding high.
I
so
think
that
the guy
definitely a
is
possibility.
definitely Aaron Neville. Those notes, I know that voice anywhere.
All right. Well,
Usher and Monica.
would be a good one.
And then they also said Amy Grant, didn't they?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Brandy and Ray J. I know that. Angie.
Oh yeah, Brandy and Ray J. David Foster and Catherine McPhee, maybe. Or
McPhee was one I had thought of. Yeah, yeah.
Or
All
the
right.
Mowry brother and sister. Yeah.
All right, guys, the Dragon was obviously Busta Rhymes. We know that already. He performed LL Cool J's, made no attempt to hide that voice whatsoever. Robin guessed it.
Made it work.
But afterwards, we actually did get to hear from Busta Rhymes about what the experience was like, so take a listen.
I've been a costume-driven artist from the beginning.
That's true.
Because I was groomed and conditioned to be a showman. And showmanship is a very key ingredient and key component to what distinguishes the difference between artists that can create careers and legacies and the artists that don't. The symbolism of what the Dragon represents, I feel, is what encompasses who and what Busta Rhymes is. I don't have a favorite part about the costume because I don't think that the costume is the costume without all of the parts. The car ain't gonna work without the gas tank. Even though everybody think the key is the most important part, that gas tank is just as important as the key. The grande of the
All right, guys, so Group B is going to perform next week. Whole new crop of contestants right here on Fox 5, Wednesday at 8 o'clock.
Chris, I don't mean to be this guy and say, oh, I knew that was going to be Busta Rhymes, but out of all the performances last night, that was the one that I knew immediately.
Unmistakable.
Unmistakable. The voice. There's no. I kept seeing people say
Have just sang
DMX.
one of his own songs.
Yeah, I thought it was DMX.
Really? I heard Busta. I heard Busta's voice. I love you, Marissa, but I heard Busta's voice. I don't know why. It was just in there. But DMX was my second guess. You're right.
Right there together. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thanks, guys.
Aaron.
Oh, I'm excited